You disgust me since the first day I met you. My daughter-in-law said at the engagement dinner. I smiled and waved at the host. Then a video started playing in the hall, and she froze at the table. Prat 4. The projector screen glowed to life. The music began gently. Photos of Logan as a baby, a toddler at the beach, blowing out candles in the backyard. Guests smiled. Some whispered fondly. Sienna relaxed beside me, the edge of her mouth curling up. Then the music changed. The next photo faded to a scanned document, my deed stamped and notarized with a different signature pasted over mine. Then Logan's voice. She won't even notice. She doesn't check her mail. A ripple moved through the room. Sienna's voice followed. Once she's gone, we can sell most of it. Furniture, antiques, whatever. She won't be needing any of it at that place. Someone in the crowd gasped. Sienna started to rise from her chair. Logan reached for her arm. I placed my hand gently on his sleeve and leaned in. Sit. I whispered, my voice clear and low. You said you wanted unforgettable. The video kept playing, and the silence in the room turned into something heavier than sound. When the final clip faded to black, the room stayed quiet for a long moment. No music, no murmurs. Just the soft hum of the projector cooling down and the sound of forks abandoned mid-meal. I rose from my seat. For 35 years. I said, turning to face them, I was a mother, a wife, a woman who gave everything she had to the people she loved. My voice didn't shake. And tonight, I am something else entirely. I am a woman who refuses to be discarded. All eyes were on me, but none mattered more than Logan's. He looked stunned, as if the face in the recordings didn't belong to him. As if this moment hadn't been earned over years of quiet betrayal. I raised my hand, and Mr. Ellison stepped forward from the corner of the room carrying a small leather folder. This is Mr. Ellison, I said, my attorney. He worked with my late husband for over 30 years. Tonight, he will help clarify a few things. Ellison opened the folder and began. We have verified documentation proving Logan Wells committed mortgage fraud, including forged signatures on a home equity loan using his mother's property as collateral. In addition, we've collected over 20 hours of recorded audio that demonstrate a coordinated effort between Mr. Wells and Ms. Moore to remove Mrs. Wells from her home for financial gain. He looked up, his tone cold. All legal steps have been taken. The bank has been notified. I stepped back in. And as of last month, my will has been revised. Logan Wells is no longer my heir. Every asset, every dollar, every square inch of that house will go to the Riverton Children's Shelter. Gasps. A chair scraped the floor. Logan stood, his hands trembling. Mom, please, can we talk about this? Just the two of us. No. I said, looking him in the eyes. No more private conversations. No more hallway whispers. No more pretending. He opened his mouth, but I raised my hand again. You're not my son, I said quietly. You're a stranger who lives in my house illegally. And that night, beneath the shimmer of gold lights and stunned silence, I turned and walked away from him for the last time. They left without saying goodbye. Logan kept his head down. Sienna marched ahead of him like she still had something to salvage. The guests parted for them in silence. The way you step aside for a mess you don't want to track into your own home. Mr. Ellison and I stayed until the last glass was cleared, until every whisper had faded into the night. In the days that followed, neighbors came by with casseroles, cards, even a bouquet of garden roses from Mrs. Harold across the street. Grace brought over paint samples and sat with me on the porch, while we picked out the shade that would become my new kitchen walls. Bright yellow light warned morning light. The locks were changed within a week. The fraudulent loan was cancelled after the bank reviewed the evidence. Mr. Ellison made sure every thread was clean and closed. Logan's name was scrubbed from everything. I booked a train to Santa Fe on a quiet Tuesday, packed one small bag, and left before the morning news aired. I stayed in a modest inn and walked through open air markets with a paperback novel tucked under my arm. One evening, I joined a local book club that welcomed me like I was someone worth knowing, not someone to be managed. When I came home, the house felt lighter, empty in the best way. I painted. I cooked what I liked. I sat by the window and remembered who I was before everything blurred into sacrifice. Months later, a letter arrived. Logan's handwriting on the envelope, careful and too familiar. I opened it. He asked for forgiveness. I read it once, then folded it and placed it in the drawer where I keep the spare light bulbs. Forgiveness doesn't mean returning to pain. What would you do if your own child planned to erase you? Would you choose revenge or your freedom? And can dignity ever be taken if you choose to fight for it?